airtime. Mark, 15 seconds until airtime.
Oregon is going to the Final Four.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Oregon Sports Network.
And Oregon is going to play in the national championship game.
This is Duck Insider.
We need to get community. We need this thing to be bigger than just our little circle of players and coaches.
Are you kidding me? Touchdown, Oregon.
With 2 seconds on the clock. He hits it!
That's the bigger picture in this thing, allowing the community to celebrate the hard work, blue-collar mentality this group brings to the table.
And the Ducks have won it. The Ducks have won.
We get to struggle together, and we get to have joy together.
The Ducks are Pac-12 champions.
I am so proud right now to be the head coach of Oregon.
Catch me. Touchdown, Oregon.
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Now let's go live to the Country Financial Studio to talk Oregon Duck Athletics.
Good morning. If you're live with us today, we're back to Jerry Allen's roots. He's with us, the voice of the Ducks. Jorgie's already behind enemy lines. He's on the road. It's Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. This is going to be fun. We've got keys to the game. We've got picks. We're also going to talk about a little community engagement with the Ducks. Jackson Powers Johnson, Terrace Ferguson, Nico Reed, Marcus Harper, Casey Rogers, cross country in the national championships. Men's basketball tonight. Women's basketball is on the road. Well, they were on the road. Now they're back at home on Saturday. We've got more coming. I'm Joey Mack. Jorgie is already behind enemy lines, and he made his first critical mistake this morning. Jorgie texted his picks, and Jerry Allen was on the text thread.
So I know what he's picking. Although it doesn't make any difference to me. I'm not. I'm going to be honest and pick the teams that I think that you guys aren't.
Sorry.
That you guys aren't.
I'm sorry. Yeah, that was great. So keys to the game coming up. We're doing the show a little bit early. You got Chris Clayton on the call tonight. He's filling in for me for men's basketball because Jerry and I will be flying out to meet Jorgie there in Phoenix. Arizona State, we were actually just talking before going on the air, talking about some keys to this 1 o'clock Pacific time kickoff, 11 a.m. pregame show, Jerry. I think Arizona State's defense, because of Kenny Dillingham as the head coach, Arizona State gets a lot of credit for being an offensive team. That's kind of their identity. But the defense under Coach Ward, I don't know if they get enough credit. They're middle of the road in the defensive statistics in the Pac-12, but they've only given up more than 30 points twice this season. I think their defense is better than they get credit for.
Yeah, I think the defense is better because the offense has not helped the defense very much. The offense doesn't score enough points, doesn't keep the ball long enough. Now, they have lately. They've started to, time of possession, and that helps the defense. But I agree with you. I think Arizona State's defense is a key for them. That's why I think Oregon wants the ball first if they can get it, and they want to score right away. Quick start. I mean, we've said that all year long.
I think quick start. I mean, how many times has Oregon made a team chase points because the Ducks score first? I think on the road especially, that's a big deal.
Yeah, you want to you do that quick start because there's going to be a good crowd. People are going to show up at Tempe at Sun Devil Stadium to watch Oregon play. Now, they're there for the Sun Devils as well, but they haven't had great crowds this year. But wherever Oregon goes to, they're a top 10 team, almost a top 5 team. Fans want to see this Oregon football team. They want to see their uniforms. They want to see a potential Heisman winner in Bo Nix. So it's going to be a good crowd. So what you do is you take them out of it early. You score first, get them chasing points, settle the crowd down, and then get into your rhythm.
Eggshell uniforms this week.
Yeah, I love those. I love
uniforms. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. More to come on Arizona State and Oregon, and we'll get into more of our picks around the Pac-12. But I will say, I think that for the Ducks, you touched on, like, they're going to get everybody's best shot now. I really feel that. I certainly have that feeling. Oregon clearly has a bullseye right in the middle of the O. I say that all the time, like you're doing something right when that's the case. And for the Ducks to operate efficiently, again, not turning the ball over. How many times have we talked about Turnover margin, explosive plays, those are two big indicators of if you're going to win a football game or not. The Ducks have been really good in both of those categories all year.
Yeah, they're really good in those. The one category they have struggled with this year at times are penalties, and that is emphasis of focus this week, and it has to be. They've got to clean those up. The rest of their game is so sharp, so good, but when you have penalties that take away first downs or potential touchdowns, or you give a team like USC last week a big first down on a fourth down play that extends their drive and gets them a score, those penalties are killers. You can't do that. So that's the biggest thing I'll be looking for. They're not going to turn the ball over. They're going to tackle well. They're going to do all the things they've been doing, but they got to work on the penalties.
Yeah, it's amazing that it's continued to be a storyline because it's kind of been a roller coaster of penalties this year. It was a deal early, then the Ducks really improved. Now it's kind of reared its ugly head again. It was one of the first things that Coach Lanning said on Wednesday when we talked to him.
What's interesting about it, too, is that Oregon is good enough this year to overcome those mistakes.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, now you're going to get into a game, particularly with the games coming up, where you can't afford to make those mistakes, especially on the road, or if you get to a postseason, you can't make those mistakes. But they have overcome those mistakes. That's how good this team is.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing it. You know, when we look back at the entire season, I feel like there's always a few things that you look at peaks and valleys in a season. You know, maybe this is going to be one. If the penalties start to be a peak in terms of Oregon improving in that category, maybe that'll be a big deal here moving forward. For Arizona State, who plays quarterback? I don't know that it matters. Jaden Rashada was back at practice. Kenny Dillingham said that he may go. They've got a tight end who can play quarterback. I don't know.
Their tailback plays quarterback.
Yeah, that's right.
They got 3 or 4 guys that actually have played quarterback. How many swinging gates did they run last week? 13, 14, 15, something like that throughout the game. So they're going to throw everything at Oregon. They're ready for Oregon. But one thing that you talked about, rhythm up and down through the year with some things. One constant, Joy, that we've seen this year is Bo Nix. And I know we talk about the Heisman race and who he's going against, and almost every other candidate for the Heisman this year has had a game and then back up. Every one of them. Not Bo Nix, has not had a bad game. No, I'm not going to jinx him. He's too good. This team's too good, and we're not doing that. I'm just trying to make a point is he should be getting more recognition than he is for his steady play and the numbers he's put up.
I think this week, though, to that point, it started if you pay attention to what national narrative is, it has started to swing back toward him, which is great. I mean, because I think the consistency is really important. I mean, if you told a coach that you're going to have one of the best players in the country, but he's only going to be one of the best players in the country in 9 out of your 12 games, okay, I think I'd rather have someone who's maybe a step down in those 9 games, but he's also one of the best players in the country in those 12. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Consistency.
I would rather have someone who is steady Eddie that good for 12 games rather than really good in 9 and throws 4 interceptions in 3 games.
Yeah, I mean, he's helping his team. If he's steady every game, then his teammates are having a good game too.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. And who do we have to thank for Bo Nix? Well,
Kenny Dillingham.
We're playing against him this week.
Yeah, you know, Coach Dillingham, so on our pregame at 11 a.m. tomorrow, I actually listened to all of Coach Dillingham's press conference, a couple great comments from him about Bo Nix. And so to Kenny, thanks for bringing Bo here. Thanks for being a big reason for that. In all seriousness, though, we've seen the creativity offensively. He'll probably throw a few things in there, but there's no doubt about it that the quarterback makes a huge difference. And this game might be the biggest indicating factor of how big of a deal a consistently good quarterback is. Arizona State hasn't had that. That's why their offense has sputtered at times.
Well, we talk about consistency. One thing that Bo is so good at is he's a coach on the field. How many times has he seen a defense, seen a shift in the defense or an alignment that the call from the sideline did not anticipate, and so he looks at it and changes it into the right play call. Consistency, and that's one thing that Arizona State has not had on that side of the ball this year. That's a huge gift.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. Now, I will say, we've been talking about this, like weird things have happened to the Oregon football program in the state of Arizona in November. Look, Let's just buck the trend. It's the last time the Ducks are going to Arizona in the month of November for the foreseeable future. So if we buck the trend now, then I've forgotten about all those weird games.
Yeah. I mean, there's been some weird games down there. There's no doubt about that. But there have been some really good games, too. So the Salt River, I think, is the river that flows through. It's behind the stadium, and it's dry. They finally built a dam, and it's a lake back there now. But we'll go back to the late 80s, early 90s. Dry riverbed. Thunderstorm came through. Started raining so hard, we looked out the back window, and the river had water in it. It rained pretty hard that day.
Yeah. It's supposed to only rain in the morning tomorrow. I'm going to be back on the sideline tomorrow, so it's supposed to only rain a little bit.
Yeah. You're the reason it's going to rain tomorrow because you're going to be down there.
No, this is great. I looked at the UV index. It's going to be 71, partly cloudy, and I don't think I need to put sunscreen on. Jorgie.
What? You're not putting sunscreen on in Arizona?
We'll see. The UV index was 1.
Lobster man.
I'm telling you.
Lobster man.
1 for me is enough. But just because Jorgie has been so mean to me about it for years.
Mean?
I'm just going to come home lobstered, and it's going to be Jorgie's fault. Also, we're having Mexican food tonight. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, good call.
Jorgie's our advanced team, as you said on Wednesday. And
so he's already picked out a spot?
He scouted out a couple for us.
Okay, all right.
So we're probably ready for that.
Well, the booth is not going to be good Saturday. Jeez.
Looking forward to it, though. Oregon, Arizona State, 11 a.m. kickoff, 11 a.m. pregame show, a 1 o'clock kickoff. And when we come back, we got some Pac-12 picks to make. Jerry Allen's here. It's our Sylvan Ridge Winery picks. Jorgie already sent his in because he's behind enemy lines. I looked at them. I didn't really commit them to memory. They're just kind of there. So
is it because they don't make any difference? I mean, he's so far behind.
Probably. Yeah. I mean,
I'm sorry.
He's
Jorgie,
ahead of me now.
What?
Yeah, he's got one on me.
Well, you need to catch us up when we come back.
Yeah,
I don't know where we are.
I will.
All right.
Well, here's where we're at. I lied. I'm actually in first place. Jerry is in a distant third. And Jorgie is still in second place. And when we come back,
Pinocchio
we're going to do some picks on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Hey Duck fans, we're all about protecting our home turf here in Eugene. You should do the same for your home with Country Financial Insurance. Most home insurance doesn't account for inflation, but with Country Financial, yours can. If something happens to your home, make sure you can rebuild the same house in the same place. Call a local representative or 866-COUNTRY and get a solid defense for your home. Home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Casualty Insurance Company, or Country Preferred Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois. Property must meet age and condition requirements, which vary by state.
This is Duck Insider. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. He sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself.
For many military veteran caregivers, their caregiving journey starts earlier in life and lasts longer. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
A heads up before something bad happens.
You should not send that text.
Uh-oh. Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes, you can reverse prediabetes and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. To learn your risk, take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
I want everybody to know that Gabriel just said, "Go Ducks, let us know where you went for dinner and how it was on Saturday." We'll give a live review, judging from the condition of Jerry and Georgie's stomachs. We'll know how good it was, right?
It's not my stomach that will be
an extension of such. Jerry Allen, Joey Mack, Georgie's already in Phoenix, doing the show a little early so we can catch the flight with the Oregon football team. Our Sylvan Ridge Winery picks, well, it had gone well for me. I was in first place. Now I'm not. So there's that.
That was pretty simply stated.
Yeah. So here's where we're at. Georgie and I both kind of took a I don't even know if risk is the right word. Georgie and I took a strategic choice last week, and we each were different on one game. Didn't work out for us. So at least didn't work out for me. I picked Washington State. Yet again, I can't pick Cal right. They're the team that I've missed all year.
When you pick them, they lose. When you pick against them, they win.
Yeah. So I went with Washington State. Georgie went with Arizona. We all missed on UCLA. So I missed on UCLA, Washington State. Georgie had the best week last week. He went 4-1. He's now at 56 correct picks. Jerry is in first place at 59 correct picks, but Jerry missed on Colorado. Arizona is the one that Georgie got right to jump us. I also picked Arizona. Should have picked Cal. Never pick him again. Can't pick him. I can't pick Cal. I don't know what it is. So I've got 55 correct picks. The coin is happily sitting at 37 correct picks. I am at least better than a coin flip. I was in first place, though, not that long ago. It's crazy. So actually, Jerry, Georgie has to pick first this week. So maybe it makes sense that he just texted his picks in.
That's true.
Yeah, so Georgie picks first, Jerry picks second, I pick third. I've got a big comeback here coming in the last couple weeks. Do you want to flip the coin, or do you want me to flip this week?
I'll let you flip.
All right, I can flip. I can flip this week. Okay, first game on the docket, 7:30 on Fox Sports 1. 4-6 Colorado. Got to win 2 games to get bowl eligible here down the stretch. Washington State 4-6. Got to win 2 games to get bowl eligible here down the stretch. Both teams are 1-6 in Pac-12 play. Real interesting one tonight. Washington State is a 4-point favorite. Georgie's pick. Do we have Georgie's pick first? Colorado. So Georgie's going with Colorado. Jerry?
I don't know. I'm trying to keep in first place here. Who's closest to me? You're going to go opposite of whatever Georgie I do anyway. So it's at Washington State. I think their defense is pretty good. It's late in the season. I'm gonna go with the home team. I'm gonna go with the Cougars.
He's going with the Cougs, huh? Yeah. Going with the Cougs.
And you're going with Colorado.
I'm going with Colorado.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the way it's going
Colorado.
to be.
I've got Colorado. You know, I just think Colorado's got it today.
And why would that be? Because
nothing.
I picked Washington State. That's why you think Colorado's
exactly. Got it. Good coin flip, by the way. That's tails. Okay, duck head is the heads. That's a really nice pick by the coin. Really nice.
You know what? Last week or 2 weeks ago, you guys had given up. You'd called Wolf, said it was over. It was done.
It's still over.
It's not over.
It sure is. You're going to pick, because Georgie is going first, you can just pick exactly with him if you needed to stay in first place.
Oh, I might do that.
Yeah, you might. But in all seriousness, Washington State 4-0 to 4-6. I mean, at some point, Washington State's got to break through, right? I don't think they will. I think this game is a shootout, and I think Colorado wins. Taking them. Yep.
Okay.
Next on the docket, Saturday, the first game is a really interesting, I'm surprised this game is at 11:30 on Pac-12 Network. Number 22, Utah, 7-3 overall, 4-3 in Pac-12 play, visiting number 17, Arizona, 7-3, 5-2 in conference action. You talk about a team in Arizona that's gotten better as the season's got on, and I think has overperformed. Arizona's that team. Arizona is a mere 1-point favorite if you're live with us here on Friday morning. People are expecting a good game heading into ours later in the day. Arizona Stadium, 22, Utah, 17, Arizona. Georgie's pick? Utah.
Utah.
What do you think, Jerry? I think it's a good pick there by Georgie. Good pick.
Yeah, I don't know. Arizona's at home. Jetfish has really got them believing and playing better. They can score points. Utah's defense is the one thing that scares me a little bit, though. And the fact that Georgie picked Utah makes me think that Utah must have something going I don't know about. And Georgie does. So I'm going Utah.
Arizona.
Think about it.
Arizona's
Let it hang in the air.
Arizona's going to get a win. It's just
this
it's
games
going to
could
be
go
great.
either way. All of them.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Arizona's going to get a field goal win at home. Going to be a tie game. Arizona's got a field goal to win it. I've got Arizona. In all seriousness, I think Arizona's going to win. I've been really impressed with Arizona.
I think they will, too.
I've been really impressed with Arizona all year.
I don't want Georgie to catch up with me. So
I'm going Arizona. The coin, I want you to know I've worked really hard on my coin flipping skills. That's heads. Okay. Home team. Georgie who cares? Georgie texted.
Oh, texted me?
It's fine.
Let's see.
It's fine. Arizona is the pick for the coin. That's great.
All right.
That's phenomenal.
We should have two lists.
We should?
We should have two lists. Here's my pick, but here's who I think's going to win.
It's supposed to be that's your pick.
I know, but that's my pick. Sort of.
In all seriousness, those are the two that I would have picked each time. I can't pick Washington State after what happened last week.
I would have picked Colorado had Georgie not picked Colorado.
Okay. Oh, well,
and I would have picked Utah.
That's you admitting
or
defeat.
Arizona. Yeah, I'm just trying to keep in first place.
Right. I think that Arizona's going to win. And what's really interesting with that Arizona-Utah game is the Wildcats are subtly still in this thing.
Oh, I know.
If Arizona wins this game and some other things happen here the next 2 weeks, Arizona could be in the title game still.
Utah is not out of it yet.
They're 4-3. It's a harder climb. They need more help.
They need everything to happen perfectly.
But think about this. Washington's undefeated in league. Oregon's got 1 loss in league. And then it's Oregon State with 2 losses. And it's Arizona with 2 losses. Yeah. Arizona's not out of it. I think this is a huge game for Arizona. That's why I think Arizona wins it.
And they're at home, too. They'll win at home. They'll win at home.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm really into this. So Tobiah has a great point here. I would just like to point this out to everybody. Since I'm now Jogi, thanks to Jerry on that one, do you get to play best ball format with Joey and Georgie's picks? So can we have a separate column for Jogi and I get to play best ball?
Oh, let's have 4 columns.
That's a good idea. Now we can have a third list. That's a great idea, Tobiah. I really just appreciate your fandom and listenership.
Tobiah, in my mind, just earned the flag.
Don't throw the flag at a fan. That's not right, Caden. Caden's directing today. He's
throwing it at you for accepting the
Caden
idea.
is a wiser director than Scott Phillips ever is. Scott overthrow. What? That was a compliment. That was a compliment to you. Scott's over here just throwing flags, being one of those refs that you don't want to see in a game, blowing the whistle all the time, and you've just convinced Caden, one of our best interns. You're not getting this back. This is staying right there in my cup.
Next year, we need 2 flags.
No.
Okay. Yeah, 2 flags.
No. Sylvan Ridge Winery picks continue. I've got Arizona and Colorado. Let's go Buffs. Let's go Wildcats. 12:30 ABC game, the battle for L.A. UCLA is 6-4, 3-4 in Pac-12 play. USC is 7-4 and 5-3 in conference action. USC a 6-point favorite. Jerry?
Oh, Georgie. Nah, not giving that up.
Thought I'd get him.
Almost did. I almost said it.
Battle for L.A. USC. Georgie going with SC.
So I was going to go USC as well. I mean,
were you?
I think UCLA is in a bad place right now. I mean, we're hearing rumors of what's going on at UCLA, whether they're true or not. The team hears it and they know it. They can't score. They certainly cannot outscore USC, and I don't think their defense is good enough to chase Caleb Williams around, so USC easily.
I also think USC is going to win.
But who are you picking?
USC.
Oh, okay.
I've gone with everyone that I think is going to win.
Okay, all right.
I think that USC will win. I agree with everything that you said. I also think that UCLA's offense, there was a lot of conversation early in the year, like, just go with Dante Moore, stick with him, or don't, right? And I feel like they just have never settled into a rhythm offensively, which is odd under a Chip Kelly coach team.
Yeah, one would ever guess that UCLA is struggling this year because of their offense? Chip Kelly.
Right.
The offensive genius of college football. But it's about personnel, and they just didn't have the right personnel, I guess. I don't know what it is, but it has not been good for UCLA this year. In fact, the last 2 years have been pretty good, but he had a bad start. Those first 3 or 4 years got him too deep of a hole.
I flipped the coin. It's heads, USC, home team. Okay. Got a few more games to pick. The big game, Cal and Stanford, and then Washington, Oregon State. Whew. That's a matchup that, man, what do you do in that one if you're a Duck fan? The enemy of my enemy is my friend. What if an enemy is facing an enemy? Then what do you do?
I waffle back and forth on this one. I really do.
I might flip a coin for this one. I might do it. Didn't I flip a coin last week? I think I won one that I flipped a coin on.
No, it didn't go well.
No, I think it did. I didn't. Did I? No, I picked Washington State. Maybe it was 2 weeks ago. Oh, I remember what it was. It was Washington, USC. I flipped a coin, and I didn't get it.
Yeah.
I picked USC, and it didn't work. And I flipped a coin on that one. Maybe I'll flip a coin again. Because the odds then. No, hear me out. Hear me out. The odds are in my favor now if I flip a coin because it got it wrong last time. So 50-50.
That's not the way it works.
50-50, then the odds are in my favor. It's 50-50, but I already got one wrong last time, so now if I get the 50-50 is good and bad.
This is a man who has a college education at the University of Oregon. And he's saying,
the odds are in my favor. The last time I took statistics, I think I was 17. That was 13 years ago.
Okay.
When was the last time you took statistics?
Never did.
He's Jerry Allen. We've got more of our Sylvan Ridge Winery picks coming up. It's Duck Insider presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Quick time out in the Country Financial Studio, having no fun on a Friday on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers. Ready for some SUV action? Drive family adventures with the Highlander. Make a splash with the RAV4. Or haul fun with the Sequoia. Check them at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers. Ready for some SUV action? Drive family adventures with the Highlander. Make a splash with the RAV4. Or haul fun with the Sequoia. Check them at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
You're listening to Duck Insider. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed. Oh, yeah? Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too. Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hey, so what's a great way to spread awareness that driving high is illegal everywhere? A catchy song, of course.
You can run, but you can't drive high. You can run, but you can't drive high.
Friendly reminder, don't drive high. If you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Back right, Duck Insider presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. OnPoint people are the point. Jerry is the point today because he's still in first place. Sylvan Ridge Winery picks representing the very best of the South Willamette Valley. I've actually got a bottle of Sylvan Ridge wine that I'm opening on Thanksgiving from when I won picks.
No way.
True story. I still have it. It was in the wine bar, and I thought, you know what? Since I'm not going to win this year, I guess I probably should drink that bottle.
That's great timing.
Yeah, so I'm drinking that with the family on Thanksgiving.
I have a question about the percentage total. I mean, do I have a chance to break the record this year?
Yes. If the season ended today, you would have and you got every other pick wrong, you would have the third or fourth best pick'em percentage ever.
Okay.
Let's see. If you get to I think at this point, if you pick like 4 more games correct, you'll have the record.
Okay.
You've picked.
I'm shooting for that.
So I can do a little bit of math right now. You've got 59 correct picks heading into this week. So we have picked 73 games.
It's a crazy number.
Yeah, it's a lot of It's a lot of games. That's still an 80% rate. 81% rate right now. Oh, I take that back. That's actually wrong. 73 will be after this week. It's an even better number. So it's going to be whatever 59. Again, journalism majors can't do math. 59 divided by 68. You're picking at an 87% rate.
That's crazy.
Right now. You were above 90% though until last week. Those 2 misses last week hurt you. Yeah. You were at 91% I think last week.
That's ridiculous.
So anyway, Sylvan Ridge Winery picks continue. Jerry in first place. Jorgie and I need to make a move. 3:30 on the Pac-12 network. Cal 4-6, Stanford 3-7. Both teams with 2 wins in conference. I don't know on this one.
I do.
Cal's in it. I have no idea. Jorgie's going with Stanford. I like that pick by Jorgie.
Oh man.
You know, that's
of the games that both Cal and Stanford have played this year. Cal, I think, has had fewer bad games, even though they were losses. That they weren't as bad losses as Stanford's were. So they've been more consistently average. Does that make sense? Stanford. But they're at home. And the reason I'm going to pick Stanford is because Jorgie did. Stanford. Your turn.
You're just forcing me to pick Cal.
You're never going to pick Cal. Oh. Wow.
Here's the thing. So going into today, I'm just going to say this. I will pull up my notes. Going into today, I said I was going to pick Colorado, Arizona, USC, and Cal. And I circled the Cal game saying, maybe just pick whatever you have to pick. And, well, I have to pick Cal.
I believe Cal will win.
I do too. Cal has a chance to be bowl eligible. So Cal's 4-6. They win this game. Then they play another rivalry game in UCLA. A game that Golden Bear fans are pretty ticked off about because it's going to be the last time Cal and UCLA play for a while. I do think Cal wins the last 2 games of the season.
I do too. If Jorgie had not picked who he did, Stanford, I'd pick Cal.
Heads. Home team.
Home team, Stanford.
Yeah, I think Cal's going to win.
Wow.
Now this is a wow kind of matchup. What word do you use to describe this one? This isn't going to be a slobber knocker. I don't think it's going to be a slobber knocker. Is it going to be a barn burner? I don't think it's going to be that either. I think it's going to just be, honestly, a good football game. 4:30 on ABC, number 5 Washington, 10-0, 7-0 in Pac-12 play, visiting number 11 Oregon State, Oregon's opponent next Friday. 8-2 overall, 5-2 in Pac-12 play. Right now, the Beavs are a 1-point favorite at home against the undefeated Washington Huskies.
That tells me it's going to be a whoever has the ball last game. Yeah.
I think it might end up being a low-scoring game. Washington may end up playing a game like they did against Arizona State and Arizona. A little lower scoring, kind of a control the possession game, and that's what the Beavs want to do. The Beavs want to keep the ball out of Michael Penix's hands.
So,
who's Jorgie going to pick?
Okay. And
Oregon State!
And you know why? He texted me why.
Oh, did he actually?
They're going to run the damn ball. That's what he said. I quoted Jorgie.
It is exactly what he texted. In all capital letters.
Yeah,
with 4 exclamation points.
Yeah. Run the ball. I think that's what Oregon State will do. And they're going to be able to do that. Oregon State probably is a more, wide open. Washington can throw the ball. They can run a little bit, but they want to throw the ball. Michael Penix is the key to their success. Oregon State can throw the ball, or they can run the ball. And if they will run the ball, they keep it out of Penix's hands and they outscore him. So I'm going to go with Oregon State. And part of me is saying, you know what? But it really benefits the Ducks if Washington wins because they keep a higher ranking. So if Oregon takes care of business, looking ahead, which we can't do, so never mind, I'm not going to look ahead. But you got my point.
I hate picking them, but I have to. Washington.
Oh,
God,
no.
All right. So I didn't say my other one that I wrote down. I did write down Washington in this game.
Really?
Yeah. I wrote down Washington in this game for exactly what you aren't going to say, and I'll say it. Washington needs to win this game for Oregon to realize its goals. At least somewhat. It doesn't have to go that way, but the way that it all breaks down. Look, here's my disclaimer. The team isn't talking about this.
No.
We can a little bit on the show here. We all look at the projections and rankings and the way that things are going right now. If Washington's undefeated and Oregon's a one-loss team going into a Pac-12 championship game, the Ducks can avenge their lone loss. Maybe they do it decisively. Oregon probably is getting into the playoff. You got to just take care of business against Arizona State. You got to take care of business against Oregon State. If you're fortunate enough to be in the Pac-12 championship game, then we can have the conversation about everything that I just said. But in order for that to be the most fun and to have that game happen next Friday, 2 Fridays from now, Washington, I do think, needs to win this game because there's still a situation out there where Washington loses. Oregon State and the Ducks maybe are even playing in that game. Wouldn't that be crazy? Or Arizona. There's a lot of scenarios still for that Pac-12 championship. Ducks win against Arizona State, looks real good for Oregon. But there's still a few other things that got to happen. And look, as a Duck fan, I don't want to pick either one of them. I hope that they both
forfeit.
I hope it's
forfeit.
I hope it's 2-0. Right? 2-0. Be the most boring football game ever. I don't want to pick either one of them. And so on behalf of the Ducks, because I think it's best for the Ducks, I think the team in purple is going to win. How was that?
I'm just nauseated.
I am too. How was that, though? Did I do okay there?
No, you did. Yeah, you explained it very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you did.
I don't know how the rest of the Duck fans feel hearing that, but I don't want to pick either one of them. You know what would actually be hilarious is if Washington wins this game and then the Cougs get them. Of all, Cougs go on a 7-game losing streak and then win the Apple Cup.
That wouldn't be funny at all. That would not be. That would hurt us as much as Oregon State beating Washington.
But it'd be a little funny.
It would be.
I don't know. There's some poetry there.
This is just a great example of how good the Pac-12 is this year. So many teams are still in contention. Top 25. I mean, my gosh. What a year.
Coin.
Yeah, okay. Wow, I almost hit the ceiling.
Thank you. Good flip. Road team. Road team.
Okay.
That's Washington.
Wow.
I really think this this to me feels like a real tight game. I do think it's going to be a one possession, just a couple points.
Yeah.
And the Beavs can keep it away from Penix, and they can defend them. They're so efficient.
And it's a tough place to play.
Yeah, it is. They're a better team. If this game was in Seattle, I'd pick Washington hands down. Oregon State's been a different team on the road.
But so Washington's been a different team since early
Oregon.
season. They've been kind of up and down, but they didn't continue to get better as a lot of teams do. They've been a couple of games they've had to fight for their life in. So, yeah.
And that can go both ways. That means that they're equipped to win in those close games.
That's true.
But also means you play with fire a little bit. I don't know. Going to be interesting. Sylvan Ridge Winery, proud to be Eugene, Oregon's first bonded winery representing the very best of the South Willamette Valley. Sylvan Ridge Winery sponsoring our picks. Thanks to them for sponsoring our picks for another year. So it's going to be an interesting week, isn't it? Georgie and I are taking Colorado. Jerry's taking Washington State. I'm taking Arizona. Jerry and Georgie are taking Utah. I'm taking Washington. Jerry and Georgie are taking Oregon State. We're all taking USC. I'm taking Cal. And Jerry and Georgie are taking Stanford.
So what could happen? I mean, there's a lot of different picks this week.
Let me think about that for a second. There is a possibility that I could move into first place.
That's crazy.
Colorado,
That's ridiculous.
Arizona, Washington, and Cal all win, I would tie you for first place going into the last week. And that could happen.
You know what we need to do? We need to change next year some rules.
No, we don't.
So that at the end of the season, the guy who's in the lead doesn't take it in a rear end because other guys are just taking advantage of his picks.
But because
I pick who I think is going to win, and they go opposite, and then if it happens,
wait, you know what? I got an idea. What if we sent our picks to Scott, and we sent them to him an hour before the show?
Oh,
and then you can't change them.
Okay, I'm there. Now we're getting somewhere.
And then Scott makes a graphic, and we reveal it.
So they're real honest picks.
Yeah, and then we can give our reasoning.
Yeah.
After the pick is revealed.
All those in favor?
Aye. Georgie's not here, but
did you hear him?
Georgie, if you're watching, you could text and say aye. But actually,
that's
I think
a great
that would
idea.
be interesting.
No, that would be just
also,
for 1 year.
Half the game is, the game within the game.
Yeah, that's true.
But
that's why we could have two lists. Here's who I'm picking, but here's who I really think is going to win.
And next year we're going to have 3 more games to pick every week. Not that this segment isn't long enough already. Let's do 2 versions of Yeah. He's Jerry Allen. I'm Joey Mack. We've got some interviews here coming up from Oregon football to finish up the show. But, yeah, so go Buffs, go Wildcats. I can't say the other two. The team in purple and then the team in yellow and blue.
What a week.
Let's see. Yeah, there's a possibility that I could be tied with Jerry for first place, or I could be down by 8, which would be embarrassing. Georgie can get Georgie can only get within 2 of first place. So we'll see what happens here.
Okay.
The one that I don't love is the Washington-Oregon State one.
How about the fan base is able to stay in this all the way to the end of the season? Normally it's 1 or 2, maybe 3 teams, and fans are excited, and the rest of them are like, let's go to the coast, let's go to the mines, let's go skiing, let's go whatever. A lot of fans now are going, wow, our team's still in it.
Yeah.
That's great.
Agreed. I think it's going to be a fun year. All right. Yeah. Final thoughts, Oregon, Arizona State, before we send you over to the airport.
Well, what I've always said every week, and I think Georgie has and you as well, and that is play Oregon football. Just play your game. Execute what you've been taught or coached to do. The talent level is certainly there, and the focus has been there all year. So play Oregon football, knock down a few penalties, and just enjoy the game.
Enjoy the game. When we come back, a little bit around Oregon football, some interviews to finish up the week, and Jerry, we'll see you at the airport.
See you at the airport.
All right, back after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers. Ready for some SUV action? Drive family adventures with the Highlander. Make a splash with the RAV4. Or haul fun with the Sequoia. Check them at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Hey, Duck fans, we're all about protecting our home turf here in Eugene. You should do the same for your home with Country Financial Insurance. Most home insurance doesn't account for inflation, but with Country Financial, yours can. If something happens to your home, make sure you can rebuild the same house in the same place. Call a local representative or 866-COUNTRY and get a solid defense for your home. Home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Casualty Insurance Company, or Country Preferred Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois. Property must meet age and condition requirements, which vary by state.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers. Ready for some SUV action? Drive family adventures with the Highlander. Make a splash with the RAV4. Or haul fun with a Sequoia. Check them at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
This is Duck Insider. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those round trips, which are perfect on your way there and perfect on your way back? Or those meetings with friends, surprise parties, camps, birthdays? The same way you plan for the important moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
My name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training, and the very next day he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. My way of continuing my service is to help protect my community by being a responsible gun owner and by storing firearms safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
We're back on Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack here in the Country Financial Studio. Hey, something that we do every year that's really cool. Our friends at First Interstate Bank, they're one of our signature Rivalry Series partners, and they love doing community involvement. Their entire partnership with the Ducks is based on this Community Hero Program. You've heard some of the spots around the Oregon Sports Network about people that have been nominated by their community, and then they go on and do some amazing things, and we like to bring those people to Duck games. They're also doing a new one this year called My First Game, and I caught up with First Interstate Bank Eugene Market President Gary Collins. They're really in on these sorts of things, and I think you'll enjoy listening to why First Interstate Bank is doing some of the stuff they're doing. Engaged in the community and is also a huge Duck fan. Gary Collins is joining us, First Interstate Bank Eugene Market President, and one of my favorite initiatives that we do across the Oregon Sports Network and Oregon Athletics is the Community Hero Program. I know something that First Interstate Bank also loves. Gary, I want to talk a little bit about that first. Jumping in, First Interstate Bank and the Community Hero, I love it. I imagine that you all do too.
Joey, you bet. Thank you so much for having me on today. Really appreciate it. Great to meet you as well. So First Interstate Bank, when they partnered with the Ducks 6 years ago as a Rivalry Series partner, one of our goals was to shine a light on all positive things everyday heroes do in our communities. And that's how the Community Hero Program was born. You might ask yourself, what is a community hero? And at First Interstate, we define those individuals as someone whose good deeds and positive energy make our community a better place to live, work, and raise a family. Think about teachers, volunteers, first responders, healthcare workers, caregivers, moms, dads, coaches, all have been recognized as community heroes. The Community Hero selected for the Rivalry Series game will receive tickets and a VIP experience.
Sweet.
So be sure to stay tuned to see who it is.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I got to tell everybody, so throughout the year on the Oregon Sports Network broadcast, you've heard us talking about the various community heroes, and I just love the quick snippets that we get of all these amazing people around the community that have done so much. Now, similarly, a new promotion, My First Game. Pretty self-explanatory, but another cool initiative from you all.
Yeah, Joey, exactly. My First Game, it's similar to our Community Hero Program in that individuals sign up for a chance to win game tickets. The difference is My First Game is geared to those fans who've never attended a Duck football game and want to check it out. Maybe you're a young family and you want to take your kids, or maybe you're just new to the area. and you've never attended a game, either way, my first game at First Interstate Bank works to ensure anyone who wants to score tickets can be a fan and have an opportunity to do that.
My first game, First Interstate Bank. I got to say, I see what you did there. That's well done, Gary. And
that would be our marketing department. Joey, I'm not that creative. I'm a banker, right? Number debits and credits, numbers. I leave the creativity to our marketing department.
Well, look, I want to tell you, I got an A in accounting. Okay, I understood.
Awesome, no way.
I understood debits and credits, and then that was the only class I took, Gary. That's why people like you are important to me. But in all seriousness, I mean, we have fun throughout the broadcast season, but it means a lot to me, especially my wife is a teacher. Those community heroes, people that don't get the opportunity to go to a game until there's some help to do so. I just really appreciate the initiative. Gary, thanks for what you've done. And then I also understand that you're a big-time Duck fan. So do you have a favorite game and a favorite Duck memory so far that you can share?
Boy, a favorite game. And, every experience at Autzen Stadium is unbelievable. I mean, thank goodness I'm wearing AirPods right now so I can actually hear you clearly, because I can tell you, as a fan, being at Autzen Stadium, the energy and the sound level is unlike any other stadium I've ever been to. And I've been to games up in Seattle. I've been to games in the Bay Area. I got to tell you, Autzen Stadium, just the experience itself, the fans, the camaraderie, the tailgating, it's a lively experience.
That's cool. Sum it up with, just the entire package. I like that. That's great. First Interstate Bank's Eugene Market President, Gary Collins, thanks for being with us. Thanks for being a Duck.
Thanks, Joey. Have a great day.
I really appreciate First Interstate Bank's promotion with the Community Hero Program, my first game. You'll see that celebrated during the rivalry game coming up next Friday, a week from today. Ducks and Beavs. How about that? It's going to be interesting here down the stretch. When we come back, let's hear a bit from Jackson Powers Johnson. We've been talking about his conversation all week. Now let's give you a chance to hear it if you haven't by now. We're going to do that next on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, we're more than just an award-winning golf course and practice facility. Our events team offers all-inclusive event pricing that allows us to take care of all the details while you enjoy your event. Our indoor and outdoor venues offer you a wide variety of fully staffed options that put the focus on you. From weddings to business and social events, at Shadow Hills Country Club Events Center, you get the benefits of a resort atmosphere and amenities in a peaceful country setting, just minutes from downtown Eugene. Call for a tour today or visit shadowhillsevents.com.
You're listening to Duck Insider. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
This message is for Karina, our mom who finished her high school diploma at age 28. Hi, Mom. It's Emmettith and Nicholas. Congratulations on getting your diploma. You worked so hard and have taught us so much. We love you.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
And here's Heather with the weather.
Well, it's beautiful out there, sunny and 75, almost a little chilly in the shade. Now, let's get a read on the inside of your car. It is hot. You've only been parked a short time and it's already 99 degrees in there. Let's not leave children in the back seat while running errands. It only takes a few minutes for their body temperatures to rise, and that could be fatal.
Cars get hot, fast, and can be deadly. Never leave a child in a car. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Back on Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack in the Country Financial Studio. Finishing things up, I want to let you hear a little bit from Jackson Powers Johnson. This week, we've had so many interviews with great student athletes. We haven't got to them all. If you're curious, Go Ducks YouTube has you covered. The Quack Video team, our crew, always puts them up there. You won't hear Terrence Ferguson, Nico Reed, Marcus Harper, Casey Rogers today, and you will hear, though, a little bit of Jackson Powers Johnson, a guy who's now a finalist for the Outland Trophy, Best Interior Lineman, both offense and defense. He's a finalist. Jackson Powers Johnson with the media this week.
Good. Sore, tight. It's week, I think it was week 10, right? Well, week 11 with the bye week, so everyone's kind of feeling it, but feeling good.
Throughout a game where you're kind of dinged up like that, what drives you to keep going?
Just my teammates, for sure. They give everything they got day in and day out, so I have to give the same, and just the pride of that. And I kind of look at it this way, like Alex Forsythe hurt his shoulder against Washington last year and played that whole 17-play drive with AC joint that was very hanging on. So I can play through anything. So
I was going to ask you about Alex in terms of just the progress you've made this year in terms of just kind of football knowledge. How much did he help you in having him around for a couple of years?
Oh, a ton. I mean, he sends me good luck texts to this day. Like, we have a great relationship, but he took me under his wing and he taught me almost everything I know. And I really studied him. I really, wherever he went, I went. Like, I was a little brother. So anything he did and any wisdom that he would give to me, I would take and really cherish. So a ton.
How aware are you of just kind of the center position in Oregon and the history of all the great players that have come through, and does that kind of motivate you too in terms of holding that sort of a standard?
Oh, for sure. There's been a lot of great centers that come through here. I think about Horonis. I think about Alex. I think about so many good guys that have come through here, and it's not just that, but they're offensive linemen. The person who wore my number before me, I got to live up to that standard. So, we have a rich history of great offensive linemen here, and we try and uphold that standard every single day and in practice and in games.
You said last night on social media that you really love your coach, despite all that he's hearing and all that you guys are hearing as far as outside noise goes. How have you kind of seen him handle that when it comes to keeping himself focused and keeping you guys as a team focused as well?
I mean, I think it's refreshing. I mean, as a player, you look like those jobs getting opened up, and it kind of scares you a little bit because this is a business, and to see coach come out and say all that kind of stuff and say how much he loves Oregon, it's awesome. And I'm not trying to be but it kind of reminded me of me in high school. We had I think Oregon lost to ASU in 2019. And everybody was questioning if I was going to still go there, if I was going to still be committed. And I was committed 1,000% because everything he said about how the resources here, the people, how this program is true. And it's reigned true. And having a coach come out and say that and blatantly say I'm not going anywhere, I feel proud to be on this team. And I feel lucky enough to be coached by him. So
this isn't to diminish any of the staff who was here before, but how much does that mean to you after what you and a lot of other guys went through in 2021 after that staff left? I
mean, yeah, we have a little bit of PTSD. That's why when you go on there and Max Torres posts something, you're like, oh, see what happens. But, it's, as I said, it's refreshing. It is. Because you'll see a lot of coaches, as you said, kind of beat around the bush, and he just flat out came out and said, said it, said how much he loved Oregon, and it's great. It's great to see, and we don't really look at press conferences that much because we're just so focused in ours. And but when you see that kind of pop up and you see that and how he kind of talks about us as a family, because we really are a family, and how he feels about us, it makes us proud and makes us happy to be here.
Well said, JPJ. Jackson Powers Johnson there, wrapping it up on Duck Insider this week. 11 a.m. pregame show for football. Basketball in action tonight. Chris Clayton's filling in for me. Whole lot going on. Best of luck to the Oregon women tomorrow as well. See ya. Have a good weekend.
Put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always sing with me. So put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always remember this beat.
Don't drive.